Salam. This video is brought to you by Noah Flat Publishers. In fact, many economists argue that the neo-capitalist world economic system rests on principles that will lead to its ruin. It can be argued that among the reasons that led to the crisis is the spread of moral economic corruption, such as exploitation, lying, circulation of prejudiced rumors, cheating, monopoly and the engagement of nominal transactions, with no real value. In this way, the wealthy and creditors oppress the poor and debtors who, as a consequence of being unable to bear such oppression anymore, or pay back these debts and loans, will grumble and be resentful. Also, wealth has become a weapon used to dominate and control politics around the world. Money has become the idol of the capitalist economy.
Now that we understand how money is created by this fractional reserve banking system, a logical yet elusive question might come to mind. What is actually giving this newly created money value? The answer? The money that already exists. The new money essentially steals value from the existing money supply. For the total pool of money is being increased irrespective to demand for goods and services. And as supply and demand finds equilibrium, prices rise, diminishing the purchasing power of each individual dollar. This is generally referred to as inflation, and inflation is essentially a hidden tax on the public.
What is the advice that you generally get? And that is, inflate the currency. They don't say debase the currency. They don't say devalue the currency. They don't say cheat the people who are saved. They say lower the interest rates. The real deception is when we distort the value of money. When we create money out of thin air, we have no savings, and yet there's so-called capital. So my question boils down to this. How in the world can we expect to solve the problems of inflation? That is, the increase in the supply of money with more inflation.
Of course, it can't. The fractional reserve system of monetary expansion is inherently inflationary, for the act of expanding the money supply without there being a proportional expansion of goods and services in the economy will always debase a currency. In fact, a quick glance at the historical values of the US dollar versus the money supply reflects this point definitively, for the inverse relationship is obvious. $1 in 1913 required $21.60 in 2007 to match value. That is a 96% devaluation since the Federal Reserve came into existence. Now, if this reality of inherent and perpetual inflation seems absurd and economically self-defeating, hold that thought, for absurdity is an understatement in regard to how our financial system really operates. For in our financial system, money is debt, and debt is money. Here is a chart of the U.S. money supply from 1950 to 2006. Here is a chart of the U.S. national debt for the same period. How interesting it is that the trends are virtually the same. For the more money there is, the more debt there is. The more debt there is, the more money there is. To put it a different way, every single dollar in your wallet is owed to somebody by somebody. For remember, the only way the money can come into existence is from loans. Therefore, if everyone in the country were able to pay off all debts, including the government, there would not be $1 in circulation. In fact, the last time in American history the national debt was completely paid off was in 1835 after President Andrew Jackson shut down the central bank that preceded the Federal Reserve. In fact, Jackson's entire political platform essentially revolved around his commitment to shut down the central bank, stating at one point, "The bold efforts the present bank has made to control the government are but premonitions of the fate that awaits the American people should they be deluded into a perpetuation of this institution or the establishment of another like it." Unfortunately, his message was short-lived, and the international bankers succeeded to install another central bank in 1913, the Federal Reserve. And as long as this institution exists, perpetual debt is guaranteed.
115, take one. Marker.
All right. So can you just introduce yourself and tell me what you do?
My name is Katrina, and I'm a student.
Hi, my name is Roman, and I'm a motion graphics designer.
My name is Jody.
My name is Stephanie.
I'm Brennan.
My name is Ginger, and I am a full-time student.
Can you tell me what life means to you?
Life is about making a difference.
Being able to do something that gives you joy, feeling alive.
Oh, what brings me life are things like my friends, telling stories, or being able to go to concerts.
Life is a gift.
Life is about love.
You live to experience different things, and you live to make a change, and you live to love.
Love is about connecting with people.
Love is sacrifice.
It's doing something. It's not just feeling something. We all feel love, but love is expressing it to other people.
Love definitely has the power to change people's lives, and for those people to change other people's lives as well.
Love is about helping other people. You can help other people.
The current financial crisis debunks the myths of capitalism, opening the way for alternative economic systems to emerge, among which is the Islamic finance and economy. The Islamic economic and financial system is based on a set of values, ideals, and morals, such as honesty, credibility, transparency, clear evidence, facilitation, cooperation, complementarity, and solidarity. How to define Islamic finance?
From a conceptual perspective, Islamic finance is an ethical and an indigenous form of finance that is governed by the principles of Sharia, which is Islamic law. Progress over the years in Islamic finance has led to development of products and services that are sophisticated enough, and we are seeing these services being available to customers who are increasingly taking them for their use. It's an inclusive platform that is not only available to Muslims, but it also appeals to non-Muslim investors who look at ethical features of the product and basically invest due to those features. From a technical perspective, Islamic finance has certain inclusions and exclusions. Among the major exclusions, Islamic finance prohibits the use of interest in its transactions, which is also broadly referred to as usury in Islamic finance. There's also prohibition on the inclusion of certain sectors, and there are sectoral screens that align themselves somewhat with the CSR and ethical investment screens. And those screens are generally the financial sector screens. There are gambling sectors excluded, weapons and other related activities that are included in that particular area are excluded from those screens. It encourages the investment of liquidity into the real sector of economy, and that liquidity is invested in a manner which encourages profit and loss sharing between investors. And that, in a nutshell, is what Islamic finance basic principles are.
Thank you for your time.
It's time to love.
It's time. It's time to change.
Everything starts with a small step.
Every one of us can make a difference.
We can do it.
We can help other people.
We can make a difference.
Love doesn't have any limits.
It's time.
It's time. It's time to stand for justice.
It's time to love.
Save a life.
Save a family.
Save a village.
We can change the future.